Hello, welcome to Math 107. I'd like to take some time to walk you through what steps need to be taken to start the course. This may be one of the longest videos that I post through the whole semester. It just takes a bit of time to get anything up and going, and is maybe your first course. I'm not sure in the program that you're starting, so I'm going to be a little bit more thorough here than I normally am. I usually like to leave my videos just a few minutes, so while I realize our lives are pretty busy and sometimes it's hard to sit through an entire video, you can pause me if you get tired, you can come back later, but the things I'm going to talk about are all important. I'm not going to waste your time by talking about things that aren't essential to the beginning here. So to get started, first of all, I want you to know that what I'm using here is just not a YouTube video, but something called Zoom that we can use to conference throughout the semester if you want to have some help with a problem. I can send you a link to what is called a Zoom room. Then you can look at my screen as I share it, and I can write problems on my screen. I can work problems out. Online learning can be very remote. It can almost feel like you're isolated. But with a tool like this, the students I've seen who've utilized it, it makes a lot of things come through that the traditional style of teaching really help with learning, that interaction. So Zoom may be for you, maybe it isn't, but if you are ever feeling isolated, you're not getting the help you need, this is an excellent way for us to converse and to overcome maybe something you're having trouble learning. With that being said, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start to share my screen. We're going to kind of go through the whole process of getting started in class. So what this might look like is, let me put this down here, is just getting ready to log into my USI. Oh, hopefully you type better than I do. You ever get nervous when you feel like people are watching you? Happens to professors too. So log into my USI, and you'll have all these different tools that you can begin with. Blackboard, VoiceThread, there's a link for Zoom, grades, all sorts of things. Good, I was afraid it was going to take a little longer than expected. So I've heard some questions about, what are all these things I'm referring to? MyLab, Blackboard, Zoom. Okay, let's take and address that. Blackboard, we're going to open this up here. It's the one on the top left, second from the top left. This is what you kind of think of as the collection of all of our course materials for Math 107. But it can also be the collection for any other course you're taking this summer or in the future. You just kind of have to look down through your list, and mine happens to have us listed about third down here. And this is where I post things for you. This is where I give you lectures. This is where I just like a regular classroom where I converse with the students. Okay. Now I'm going to go back for a moment to where we were, because there's some other tools that are important here. Of course, your email, and I urge you check your USI email account regularly. As students expect me to respond to them in a timely manner, I expect the same from students. So I sometimes have to resort to looking up a student's phone number, and it's always this awkward situation. They answer the phone, and hello, this is your Math 107 professor. And I know it really takes them off guard. I don't do that unless I have tried email many, many, many times and I've never got a response. So check your email regularly. Do keep in mind though, if I can't get a hold of you, I will give you a call. Make sure whatever number's listed in your information center with USI is one that I can get a hold of you. You don't want to isolate yourself so much that I couldn't get a hold of you either through email or through a cell phone. Another tool we have here is this VT VoiceThread, and I'm just going to go ahead and open this up, because when we do VoiceThreads for discussions in class, or whenever we listen to lectures, or whenever we do a whole host of things, it's nice to have this run in the background, because there are links in Blackboard that will kind of go into this and start playing the VoiceThread. you got this going in the background, I just noticed it works better. Now I'm going to have more things going on over here than you do. I've taught this class several times or other classes. So I'm picking ours. It's Math 107 Summer 2020. And you should have already received some sort of introduction, some sort of link through your email saying that you've been welcomed to this group. And right now we've got about 4 voice threads that'll grow through the summer. But I just wanted to bring your attention to that the VT is one that you can use a fair amount. It's a nice tool. The Blackboard you use a whole lot. The rest of it, I'm just going to let it be. If you ever have specific questions, let me know. So I'm going to go on back to Blackboard here and kind of give you an idea that I've created a place where we enter this to start the whole course up. Now, this is kind of backwards in a way, because if you've already accessed this video, you'll know right now that on your computers where it says watch course video, I've got a video in here. Right now I'm creating it. I'm going to embed it in there later. So in some ways, if you've got to this point, you're listening to this video, you kind of addressed a few issues, but I'm trying to be thorough. So I got a little bit about myself, watching the course overview. As you go down through here, this start here area, I've tried to number it so that you can go through a series of steps to really get a good start. So reading and watching essential items. Let's go ahead and click on that. And you know what, here, I want to make it look just like your view. Sometimes the professor's view looks a little bit different than the students. So you've got, to begin with, the course syllabus. And these are rather lengthy documents at times. I have created a voice thread discussing the essential pieces of it. It doesn't mean it covers everything, so I urge you not only to listen to the voice for the issues I address, but take a look at the whole document. Maybe there's something with late homework. What do I do there? Or some other issue I might not be thinking about right now. But I try to address all the big ones in this voice thread. And just to kind of make sure you understand how to access a voice thread, you got this play button in the middle, and I might have to mute myself here in a minute. That's always awkward. But you click that play button in the middle, it'll start playing. For some reason right now, it's starting on the last slide of the whole syllabus. I don't know why it did that. But go to the first one, hit play, and you can start listening to how to contact me. It takes a few minutes. Go to the next slide. I try and keep those really short. I like this overview. So you watch a few of them, take a break, do whatever, come back, watch a few more, you get through it. These links underneath the voice threads are there in case the embedded video for some reason just isn't working. So it's 2 ways to get to the same place. I don't mind either way you use it. So syllabus, definitely a great place to start. Look over it, have questions, let me know. The second thing here is about a course textbook. I use something called First Day Access. And what this is essentially you'll have to do this one way or another. You'll go over here to this underneath the Tools tab, First Day Access. You have an option to get access to the electronic copy of the textbook as well as MyLab. And wait a second, what's MyLab? That's our online homework management system. We also take quizzes with it. That's what I will use to gather homework grades and quiz grades throughout the semester. So MyLab is different from Blackboard. MyLab is associated with the publisher of the textbook, and they just created an online homework system. So as you finish the syllabus and you're starting to think about what you need for a textbook, over here on the left, click on the First Day Access tab. Click on it once again. It's getting there. And then I'm not going to click everything here because this, I clicked on it earlier and there's a code that I can't show you, okay? So you'll click on View Course Materials, and you can get 2 choices. If you're okay with an electronic copy of the textbook, as well as the access code from MyLab, you're going to get that no matter what. But if you are okay with only having an electronic copy of the textbook, I'd urge you to go ahead and take this option. It's supposed to be the most inexpensive, the most economical choice for the textbook, okay? If you don't want that though, if you want a hard copy of your textbook, you still need to click on this View Course view course details to opt out of course materials. Click on that and let them know you don't want the textbook. You're going to have to wait for your textbook to be sent through the mail. And give me a moment, I'll address how to get that textbook if you want the hard copy. But the thing is, if you want a hard copy, you're not going to be able to do that with First Day Access. It is nice, though, to get the materials immediately, because whenever you click on this, if you're doing First Day Access, they're going to give you a code. You want to write that down, and I'll show you a few minutes where to enter that into MyLab so that you can get yourself going immediately. So let me kind of go back a bit here, backing out of this process. I promised you what happens if you want that hard copy. So in this course textbook area, if you look down here where it says this ISBN, I have provided the link. Now it's going to give us a little bit of trouble because it's outside of Blackboard. Click on that extra one there. It's going to give you another way. I got a link here to the actual publisher, the hard copy. It's $95, $96. It's still got the access with MyLab to it. I think it's about $10 to $20 more if you get the hard copy rather than just getting the electronic. So there's all the information I can get you. Now, if you don't want to go with either of these options, you want to kind of go on your own and find that using Amazon or whatever, buyer beware. You have to get an access code to MyLab. And sometimes when you're buying things online, you don't know if it's used or not, you may not get the access code that works. So be careful. If you're going to be that independent, be very careful that you're getting something you can use. Okay, let's head on back here to where we were at in our, we looked at textbook. I've got the third thing here, just a listing of what we're going to learn through the semester and the objectives that will help us get to it. I discussed that in the syllabus. The course calendar, I've already got everything laid out for all the days that we're here. Seven weeks goes by quickly, so I've got all the test dates, all the homework, quiz, all the assignments, it's all there. Just listen to that voice thread. It'll be very clear about what we'll be doing and what day, and all your assignments from the book to help you prepare for these things. Okay, so you could click over here, start here on the left, or I could click up here at the top, start here. What the thing is we need to go on down to our third item, because we've taken care of the syllabus, the textbook, the calendar. We need to get ourselves going with MyLab. Now, if you're going to get that hard copy of the textbook, you'll have to wait a few days to get the book with the access code, I expect. I'm not sure if you can buy it and they tell you the access code immediately. I've never had to do that, so if you are someone who does, let me know. That way I can share with students in the future. But getting this in here, MyLab, these are our essential tech tools. I have kind of an outline of what to do, but how about I just talk you through it, okay? So if you click on the second thing here, it should be a link to Pearson. And let's talk about a few things with this. With Pearson, they use cookies whenever you are entering their site. There's just no way around it. You have to accept their agreement as well. But if you click, after you click accept, they're going to ask you to set up a MyLab account. If you've never done this before, maybe you've done another class with math recently and you have a MyLab account with Pearson, you can use that again. But excuse me, you have to set yourself up a username and a password. Make sure you write those down. I don't want to forget them. And then they're going to ask you to enter in the code that you got with your either First Day Access or your textbook. So let me see here. I'd have to accept these even if I was doing it. Okay, so here it is. You would either create, in which name you get all, you fill all this out and create your account, or if you've already got one, thanks for your patience. I'll say that already. Oh, it's not going to be doing it. Accept. Yeah, for whatever reason, it's being difficult. But you create your account, and then whenever you log in, it's going to ask you to enter in your access code from your textbook, and that will get you right into MyLab. Okay? So let me back out of that. There's some other things here for browser check and student help. If you're getting into MyLab without any troubles, don't worry about those. That's just extra stuff. That's just in case you can't reach me and you're having trouble. You don't have to worry about the browser check and the student help if you get into MyLab without any trouble. The VoiceThread commenting, I'll try and go through this in just a moment. We're going to use VoiceThread quite a bit to share discussions and introduce ourselves to a class. Zoom is another tool. That's what I'm using right now. And before the spring of 2020, I'd used Zoom a little bit, but I've used it a whole lot now with all the virtual learning that's taking place with the COVID-19, that social distancing. I feel pretty good about it now, and I like it. It's a nice tool to close the distance, okay? Let's go back to start here. So once you've got your syllabus checked out, you've got your textbook decisions made, you looked at the course calendar, and you've hopefully got your MyLab account set up, it's time to introduce yourself to the class. So hopefully VoiceThread's running in the background for you. So you could either click on the play button here, or if you've got VoiceThread going, and hopefully, well, it may not take you directly to this group. You click 107, Math 107 Summer 2020. You can go down here to class introductions. And we've already, Bonnie and Brenda have already got us started here. If you want to introduce yourself, what you do, let's see here. Don't want to click on anybody in particular, pardon me, is you just go down here to the middle, click on the plus sign, click on the, sorry, I don't want to upload that. I was just trying to show you. Click on the plus sign, click on the microphone, and you can record your introduction to the class. Now, you don't have to use video. I'm not going to make any, I feel awkward enough taping myself with video, but I'm your teacher. I feel kind of like I need to as well. You can see that Bonnie and Brenda, they just typed an introduction in. That's fine too. Sometimes I like hearing your voices. It's just the human factor. But the thing is, I'd like you to talk a little bit and introduce yourself, how long you've been a nurse, what populations have you worked with. Now, I'm sorry about that. How long have you been a nurse? This class is in its final semester of just having this title, Fundamental of Mathematics for Nursing. I couldn't change it just yet. All the paperwork's done for the fall of 2020 being Fundamental of Mathematics for Health Professions. Those of you in respiratory, you're in the right place. Don't feel like you shouldn't be taking this course by any means. And tell me about yourself. How long have you been in your program? What are your career goals? How do you feel about math? You nervous about it? Is something you feel comfortable with? Just share that with me. It doesn't have to be anything long and drawn out. I'm not expecting you to take more than 5 minutes or so. Just tell us a little bit about yourself so we can start to build a bit of community. Now let me back out of VoiceThread. When you're done with VoiceThread, usually you click the X up here and it brings you back to all of your different VoiceThreads. And then let's think here. We were working in Blackboard, so we finished up our introduction to the class. It says start module 1. So what do I mean by that? Over here on the left side, I've got us split up into our different modules that we'll learn from. The Start Here tab I'll keep up as the entry point for Blackboard for, say, the beginning of the first week. You'll always have your course calendar that you can check out if you like. You don't have to go to Start Here. But you'll notice about halfway through the first week, you're going to start in module number 1 when you log into Blackboard and select this class. In each module, I have an overview of the things you're going to learn. I have a link to the e-text. If you are wondering how to get to your textbook, let's do that now. You click on this link. Hopefully, maybe I haven't logged into MyLab here recently. Let me do that now. And let me sign in. Select an option. Oh, I should have told you guys this earlier. You log in, there's where you click on your access code and it lets you keep on going. Well, for some reason, it's wanting to charge me. Isn't that kind of silly? So let me do something that you probably won't. So I'm going to create another tab. I'm just going to log into MyLab the way I normally would. Yeah, I'm doing this so you can see what your textbook's going to look like. Sometimes it's a little hard with an electronic textbook to know where everything's at. So I have to click on Pearson eText 2.0, but whenever you've already got yourself set up, it won't go through this. It'll take you straight to, and you won't have to launch it, it'll take you straight to, almost there. Ta-da! Well, that doesn't look like a textbook. What's going on here? Up here on the left, you've got this menu, this table of contents. They want to give credit where credit's due. This is all the stuff at the beginning for who worked on the book. So up here to the left, click on contents. Then you can click on, let me think, one of the first things we do is rounding. So we'll get this whole number review, and going on down through here, it's rounding. And bam, there we go. We're getting into our first lesson or so. Now, if you're curious about page numbers, they don't put them at the bottom. They actually put them on the side here. So I actually had to go through a little bit of fun over the past few semesters to get page numbers in the electronic textbook. So, hey, that's good for you. I list all the homework assignments, all the practice sets in the textbook by page number. You kind of get out of sorts if you don't know where they're at. But the key thing is we got a table of contents over here. You can look for your topics. I do jump around in the textbook. I like to gather the material a little bit differently than the author did. But you got these practice assignments. I usually just want you to work the odd ones. So if I said practice set 20, I'd look at number 1 and 3. Don't worry about 2. And the reason I ask you to look at the odds is there is an answer key. So let's see, answer key units 1 through 5, 6 through 10. So if you click on the answer key down at the bottom, you can start see watch this practice 1, practice 2. They tell you the page numbers. There you go. So that being said, I will not collect homework from our textbook. Our homework will be completed through MyLab. And while we're here, let's go ahead and take a look at that, because we've pretty much looked at all of the e-text that we need. So let's look at homework. Now good. I've got all of our homework assignments listed, but they don't show up until we finish the previous test. And you're ready for homework 1 or 2, you just go ahead and click on homework 1, click on homework 2, and get to it, okay? If you're curious what that even looks like, click on there. And it should start you going. You can save your homework, come back later and do some more if you can't finish them all in one go. Just give it a try. So there's an outline of the homework. And that's an outline of MyLab as well, kind of give you an idea. We do have quizzes in MyLab. Just show the quizzes. We're not quite ready for those yet. There's something that isn't quite showing for you. That's okay for now. Now let's see here. There was a discussion of what MyLab looks like. You got your textbook. All of our online assessments I put in one folder, and I give you the due dates for those. This is a link just to the homework within the assignment. So there's a link to your textbook. This is a link to all your homework assignments. And then each module, 1, 2, and 4, not 3, we have discussion questions, an application of what we've been learning from your work. And just like you did your student self-intro, you do your VoiceThread intro. Okay, that's all your assignments we look at through the module. But as we get towards the end of the module, you're starting to think about tests. I've got a practice exam too. So you could open it up, print it off, try it out. I've tried to make the practice exam very similar to the actual exam in length and kinds of questions, so it's worth your time. I've also put a key together. Hopefully you can read all my handwriting. If you have any trouble, let me know. And I have a VoiceThread discussing things as well, so lots of resources for you there. I also have some supplemental resources here, some Khan Academy videos for fraction work and decimal work if you need. You don't have to use those, but they're there if you want. And that's kind of wrapping up the whole setup of our first module. Overview, link to the e-text, online assessments, practice exam, and some supplemental stuff if you need. I keep going with that pattern over and over again. I do put some conversion factors into module number 2 because we have unit conversions and I want to have a common sheet that we use. But you still have your e-text, online assessments, practice exam. I don't always post lecture notes, but last semester a student asked for me to post some lecture notes for module number 2, and I went ahead and put those in here. Problems as well as the key as well as discussion of them. So what work I did in the past you're going to benefit from as we go forward with. Module number 3, similar setup. Module number 4, similar setup, but there's going to be more lecture notes here because our book doesn't do a whole lot or anything with normal distributions, standard deviation. So you'll begin to use the VoiceThreads a lot there to help you learn the material. Now, if you can see here, there's a couple horizontal dividing lines over here on the left between the modules and the tools. As we take tests throughout the semester, I will post keys to those exams, and those will be posted in this area. We talked about First Day Access My Lab, checking your grades. You can click on that underneath tools and you can see when things are due. You can see what points you've earned. I'll talk to you in the syllabus discussion about how quickly I grade things, when to expect them to be updated, stuff like that. Graded items, look under that. I'm sorry, I can't show this all in the student preview. Let me exit that. You probably got an email about a OneDrive or SharePoint folder, and what that is the place that I post all of your, sorry, I need to turn the edit mode on. These are folders where I post all of your graded work. This will also be the place that you upload your exams whenever you're finished with them. These folders are adaptively released just for each student. So while you see all of them right now, you log into yours, you should only see your name. If you see other people's names or you don't see your name, let me know. Because what I do is I put VoiceThread discussion rubrics in there. I put graded test. That's private material. Let me know if you're seeing more or less than you should. You also have the opportunity to send me emails. If you click down here on the bottom, let me go back to the edit mode being off and the student preview. You can send me an email if you click down here to your instructor. There you go, you get a hold of me. That's pretty much it. I know I've taken a while to get through all this, but everything I said was kind of essential. So let's get off to a good start this semester. If you have any more questions, let me know. I look forward to teaching and getting to know you. Have a good day.